Alright, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about thick Habs, as in double-deckers at this point. These have come in with, and this is the best I can tell from myself and others doing a little bit of testing, you need Terran Armada for this. I originally thought it was free lanes based off of loading an old save. I don't believe that to be correct anymore. I believe you do need Terran Armada for this. And these are available in the new Anchor Point and as well as New Homestead in Seoul. So this is what you look at. There is technically only 3, but 2 of them have variants. So while there are 2 2x1s and 2 2x2s, there's literally a difference on the inside between them. Unlike Tayo, which just has hardpoint differences on the outside, or the curvature, bottom curvature, things like that, these are completely different interiors. So you're going to have the Nova Galactic 2x1F, that is more the cargo 2x1. Whereas the Nova Galactic A is more the kind of living quarters, if you will. It's not exactly a living quarters, but it's more homey, less throw a bunch of crap in boxes and stick it in. Then you have the 3x1, and that is going to have an industrial workbench. That's about the only thing spectacular about that. Going back to the 2x2s, we're going to show you each one of these. There'll be timestamps if you need to skip around. The 2x2 with no designation has a spacesuit workbench, an industrial workbench, a weapon workbench. It's more like a workspace, not really a cargo, not really a living space, kind of a get in there, get work done, work on benches and things like that, sit down, do some work at consoles. And then you have the designation B. This one is more of a living space. It has a cooking station, pharmaceutical lab, a research station, and it actually has a bed. Kind of sort of a separate room, but it has a bed in it. So we'll do a real quick, not going to go too heavy into the exterior because they all look the same. I'll just give you, they are big boys. So you're going to have to find a good amount of space for that and have fun not having doors to every single one of those if you don't use the door mod, which doesn't appear to have been updated. At least not yet. I looked today and it has not been updated. We're going to start with the F designation of the 2x1 double-decker. I did come in with the ladders because I felt that was the least obtrusive and wouldn't take up as much so that you can decide where you're going to come in. So, for example, if you come in here, you're going to lose that whole panel there. This side would be fine. You're just going to lose a little bit of storage. That, you're going to lose probably all of this edge here, but keep some of that stuff. So this one's the more cargo. Doesn't have a lot going on. You'll lose this whole rack if you come in from that edge, but the ladder would be fine. You lose this panel, which is a really nice looking panel. I mean, it's very cool. Same thing over there. And it's even a different panel. Well, look at that. Alright, let's go upstairs. So ladder down into it would be fine. You're not going to really lose anything. This would be a good spot to have the ladder down because it's at the back of the stairs. So that's 4, that's aft. Not a lot going on in this one. The stair takes up a lot of the space. I feel like had I been the designer, and I realize they've got to deal with doors and windows and stuff, I feel like I would have used this half space so that all this was open. Even if you did a slightly more steep staircase, like you would have on some naval vessels. Alright, now let's look at the variant A. So a little more living space. Right, you got some chairs to sit around, you got a dartboard. That would suck if you came in that way, came in aft, you would lose all of that cool stuff right there. This one, you just lose a panel. Not too impressive up here. Again, you would lose this whole chunk if you came in through the forward door. But these sides, yeah, you lose a panel, but I think that... Oh, that's a nice panel. I love the Nova interiors. You can tell Nova was the first style of ship that they did, and then kind of lost their way thereafter, or realized it was really expensive. All right, let's go into the 3x1, and you'll see what I mean by, God, the ladders take up, or the stairs take up so much space. I feel like the middle would be the best way to come into this, either from the bottom or from the sides, because you're losing very little of anything. All right, so we do have an industrial bench in here. Still have the same old Hab lighting issues almost 3 years later. A lot of cool storage that does nothing. Cool, though. Alright, so you got one little bench here. I think if you came up in this end, it'd be awful cramped. Now, this is why I consider this more of like a workspace, because you got a lot of stations up here. You could put your chairs up to these panels here where your staff would sit and work, your crew, and they've already got a couple there, another one there. Oh, I love all the analog buttons and stuff. That's so cool. But it just, man, the double stairs, I feel like this would be better with only one set of stairs. Even if they kept it the same, just one set. I think it would look better. Give you more space inside. All right, let's go back here and let's look at the 2x2s. We're going to start with the no designation. This one's the more like workspace of the two. I do really like the 2x2s for these double deckers. So first off, you've got an industrial bench. You're going to find it hard to come in anywhere. Oh, this one worked fine. This corner here, your aft corner, would work really good to come in because you're going to lose very little. But man, look at all that stuff that would go away if you put a door or window there. That'd be alright. I like how they tucked some stuff into the stairwell cavity. So you've got storage and a bench and, you know, things to do there. A little bit of seating. These do add 2 crew. Sorry, 2 passengers, not 2 crew. Yeah, like I wouldn't want to lose all this stuff just to put a door in there. That's really cool. That I don't think I would care so much about. Floor would be fine. This probably would nuke at least that metal plate there. Oh, what we got? Spacesuit. Alright, now let's go upstairs. Nice workstation with a bench or chair, good. Coming in from the top, it might be a little claustrophobic here if you did, but I think it would work. Okay, got a first aid there. Weapons workbench. I like that you can see through with the ballistic glass. That's really nice. Another chair, okay. Sit down, have a meal. That's alright. Always got to have a trash can. It's missing the fire extinguisher. This end, you might be able to get away with only losing that stuff and keeping that if you come in these. This end would be brutal. You'd lose so much, especially that one. You'd lose everything right there. And then over here, what would have been cool though is if they'd have put a bed in here. I think that'll look nice. Maybe do the workbenches here and do a bed on either side in there, right? I think that'd be neat. Yeah, you come in either of those, you're losing a bunch of stuff. Top would be fine again. Where's that? Over here? Yeah. Designation B. This one's the more living quarters type. Ooh, that's tight in there. Come around in, we got a cooking station. Yeah, you lose a whole bunch of really cool stuff if you came in that door there. Or put a window there. You got a nice... Ah, we got a fridge that works. As in, you can put stuff in it and you can open the doors, I mean. You can have your space coffee. Little sink, cool. I am surprised this one didn't have a latrine. Got to recycle. Little prep table for food. The nice bench, I really like that. I like that color too. Same here. If you came in there, all that's gone. Or this, you lose everything there. Look at this big thing. That is cool. So a galley. Nice. No shot you're coming in there without losing a chunk of it. Probably everything right there, and maybe even that. That sucks. That would... you'd lose everything there. You come in that door. Another seating. You got some lockers. Functional, yes, functional lockers. Alright, let's go upstairs. So a little mixed use. You got a little bit of workstations as well. I love the way that monitor looks in this. Might be a little bit difficult to look at, but if you could angle it up, which kind of looks like you probably could, that's really cool. You put another chair at this workstation here. Got a pharma lab and you got a research lab. Some more lockers. I would say this one, the B variant, is much better. This would be fine. Come in that door would be great. I wouldn't want to lose that. I definitely would not want to lose that. And I have a feeling if you do that door, at least this chunk is gone. Probably. Ceiling would be fine. Is this functional? No. So you got one chair there. You could put another chair there and have a little bit of a two-seater, right? So if you came in there, I wonder if it would also knock off that monitor. You certainly lose that little bits of stuff. But that could be like your entrance hallway. And I think that would look really nice. I always found it hilarious that we have flammable bottles and things like this in these tanks, and they're not locked up. Why is there no protection? Why isn't there a chain going through all these and locking this down or being in mesh? I want to blow everybody up in this place. What we got on here? And we have a bed. A working bed. Another little table. So kind of a captain's quarters, sorta. Yeah, I think so. If you came in right there, obviously you're going to lose all that, but I think it could be a good entry hallway. Or even this one, maybe. And you got this little entry hallway. I think it'd be nice. Another first aid. Yeah, so that is the current double-deckers. I don't know if there's going to be more added. I'm sure modders will add a bunch now that they see this blueprint and they'll come up with other ones to do. But see what you think. if you have Terra Nomada and you've tried these out, hopefully the builds work out really nicely for you. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good one.